Today we're joined with Jen Piercy. Jen, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a 53-year-old female. I'm a mom of 2 boys who are still here in West Virginia. I'm the vice president for the West Virginia Manufacturers Association. I do a lot of volunteering out in the community, run chili cook-offs, do things like that. I like to do fundraising. Very involved. I'm also a high school swim coach. That's kind of my passion. If anyone who knows me, that's probably the first thing that you'll hear come out of my mouth. And I'm here at the Women's Summit, and it's been great.
It has been great. So we're doing our sweet sips here at the Women's Summit. And I got a couple questions for you.
Okay.
So what helps you push through that inevitable self-doubt that we all feel from time to time?
So, and probably just like everybody else, I do go through bouts of that, and sometimes it can be really hard to deal with. I try to take a step back and look at everything through a lens of there are other people out there who feel the same exact way that I do. Everyone has some form of self-doubt, and it could be with your job, with your relationships. And I think it's just really important to just accept it and just figure out how you can move on and do better. I also think that if you can admit your mistakes and just figure out how to do things better the next time, I think it really helps, because having that self-doubt can really affect your confidence. And just one of the speakers, when she was in there talking, it makes you not want to go after things that you want in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And you can't ignore it, because it will find you.
Yes, it will.
If you just keep pushing it away. So I like that. Own the mistakes, accept them, take the time to make those changes if you need to. And that's just going to help to build that confidence. So next time around, you have even more you sort of belief in yourself that you can succeed.
I also watch a lot of episodes of the Mormon Wives show.
Oh my gosh.
And that also really gives me some perspective.
So many people have told me to watch that, and I'm not there yet. But since she now has been kicked off of the Bachelorette or whatever, I feel like it's a big deal.
Well, I can give you a primer if you need it.
Okay, I'm ready. Okay, I'm excited.
Yes.
What is one lesson that you feel like life just keeps teaching you?
Oh gosh. Well, probably the biggest one is it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to screw up.
That's so hard.
But I think you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And if you just own it, and like as I've gotten older, I always feel like that I should be more settled and confident than what I am. But there's always something. Something will always inevitably go wrong.
Yeah.
And you just have to be able to roll with it.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, that means you're pushing out of your comfort zone, which is, I feel like, always a good thing. As we get older, it's easier and easier just to fall into the rhythm and do what you've always done. But when you're pushing outside of your comfort zone, that's when you learn how to accept those challenges, make those mistakes, move on from them, and come out better on the other side.
And it can be so scary, but I think at the same time, when you do finally address it, or when you do come out of your comfort zone, I feel like that you get a real sense of satisfaction.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much for spilling some tea with me today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. We're here with Lucia, and she's going to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, thank you so much. My name's Lucia Valentine, and I'm from the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia, so I live in Jefferson County, born and raised there. Went to Jefferson High School and Shepherd University. I'm currently the managing director for the West Virginia Women's Alliance and also running for House of Delegates.
Wonderful. So exciting. You have a lot going on, a lot on your plate. We love the West Virginia Women's Alliance. Megan Moses is such a powerful force in West Virginia. So excited to see her a part of that. She is. She's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
So we're going to spill some tea today. We have some sweet sips for you. What do you think is one lesson that life just keeps trying to teach you?
I think one lesson would be to do it scared. I think there's so many times in my career and within the past couple years that I'm trying things for the first time, and really kind of, you can get that imposter syndrome as a woman, and just trying to tell yourself, you can push through this, and you're able to do this, even if it feels uncomfortable at first.
We had this conversation last night at dinner, the whole fake it till you make it, which I fully subscribe to and believe in. And we said last night, fake it, then make it.
Totally.
So
I love that.
Say that you can do it, but then learn how, harness those skills and put them to action. I think that really has taught me a lot during my career.
Totally.
Yeah, I love that. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Yeah, I think that kind of ties into my advice too. Like, don't let perfect get in the way of good.
I love that.
You don't have to be 100% ready or know all the things all the time to make a difference, to get involved. And so that's something that I really try to deal with.
One of our earlier guests today talked about the beauty of making mistakes. And sometimes you learn so much more from a mistake than you would a success. And I think that, striving for perfection and losing focus of just the good that you're doing, that's what this whole podcast is about, right? Yeah. We're trying to do good, and we know not every episode is perfect, but we hope we're just putting good in. Keep showing up, keep telling the stories, and keep shining a positive light on the Mountain State.
Totally.
So my final question for you is, what are you currently saying yes to?
I'm saying yes to trying just to have more fun and joy in the things that I'm doing with the Women's Alliance and running for office. I also lobby during the legislative session, so we just finished the 2026 session.
You're probably still tired.
Yes, still catching up on sleep. It was nice to be home, and now I'm back here, back on the road. But I think that it's really important to find that joy in the work because it helps you not to get burnt out, and just remember, when you're trying to work towards good, it's long game, and you're not going to always see, the success that you want right away, but try to have fun while you're doing it.
Yeah, make the most of the journey.
Totally.
And then you'll get to the destination.
Yes,
yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much for spilling some tea with me today.
Thanks for being here.
All right, we are here with Kenzie. Kenzie, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. My name is Kenzie Hamilton-Faber, and I'm the owner and publisher of the West Virginia Executive, and I live in Charleston.
Wonderful. We love West Virginia Executive here. You know that, of course. One of my favorite publications, also shining a great light on the work that we're doing here in West Virginia, hoping to change the perception a little bit. So we're going to spill a little bit of tea today. What is something that you have outgrown?
So I'm going to back up a little bit. When I started with the magazine, I was fresh out of college, and my previous boss had the habit of asking questions that made you question yourself at inopportune times. And that led to me feeling insecure and doubting myself at any sort of new turn. So I would say I've outgrown the panic of the unknown and the insecurity of going into a situation that I am at times in charge of. And I have to run the day. So he would say things like, so I have curly hair too. On rainy days, I have curly hair. On not rainy days, I have straight hair.
Okay.
So it was a rainy day, and he says, can you brush that or something?
Oh my gosh.
Right before a meeting. Okay. Yeah. He also one time introduced me to someone as a girl with a reasonably bright future, and then I had to spend the next 2 hours interviewing that person. And it just sets you back.
It does.
Right?
Mentally. Yeah, mentally.
And that led to feeling very insecure going into those sorts of situations for a long time.
Yeah.
Especially at 24, 25 years old.
You're still trying to learn who you are.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So we had a speaker earlier today that I really appreciated when she was talking about building trust and credibility.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to be vulnerable and be coachable, but it's another thing to just be offensive. And as you're trying to build trust and build credibility, those are all of the things not to do when building a good team rapport and really leading people up in their roles, especially at a young age. Well, you are better for it. You're stronger for it, I can say. You made it out the other side. And hopefully he is off giving his wisdom elsewhere.
Yes. Well, it was the previous publisher of the magazine.
Okay.
And so myself and, at the time, 4 partners bought him out.
Good.
And so I kind of think about that periodically. Bright future. Reasonably.
I think you're shining pretty bright.
So I kind of, it was a full circle moment.
It is a full circle. Isn't that nice? Yeah, you're manifesting that full circle moment.
Yeah.
That's perfect. So you have probably a lot of habits as a leader that we've learned through this sort of tenacity and pressure. What do you think, what habit do you think makes you a good leader?
I think I'm an open book. So whatever the situation is, I'm happy to tell my version of what that story looks like.
Yeah.
Which I think kind of goes to her vulnerable part of the triangle there earlier from the speaker. But I think that has led to a team that knows they're welcome to come to me at any time, whether it's a challenge that they're facing either at work or in their personal life, or that they have a new idea, or they think something that we're doing doesn't make any sense and we've just done it that way for 20 years, but they're newer to the team and they think it's dumb. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
And so I think that being sort of that open book also lends itself to that sort of open door feel at work. And I think that is also kind of holds true at an event like this or something like that, where I end up talking just to whoever about random topics.
Yeah.
And we cover some really strange ones sometimes.
Well, it's really hard to bond over strategic planning and things like that, but it's very easy to bond over shared life experiences or shared challenges, or as our speaker said, we were both tall kids. I've never been a tall kid. Y'all know this. But she and someone she was speaking to were both tall kids in school. So you find those commonalities, and the relationship building is based on that personal connection and not necessarily just the professional end goal. And I think that's the beauty of women, is that we are empathetic and we're compassionate, and you can form that connection with somebody that you're just sitting next to at a lunch table or waiting in line for the restroom, because ladies, we always have a line for the restroom. I think that's really beautiful, and being open for your team. We talk about innovation a lot, and people think technology. Innovation is allowing yourself to be open to new ideas, which is the exact opposite of this is the way that we've always done it. So having young people fresh in their careers, people that are new to their roles, having that type of innovation and being open to it does make you a wonderful leader. I love that.
Yeah.
So this has been a really popular question today, which I love. I could do a whole series on this. What advice would you give your younger self?
So the solution for today does not have to be the solution for tomorrow.
That's really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's really was really evident to me parenting with, so I had a 2-year-old, less than a 2-year-old, she wasn't quite 2, and my twin boys were born of January in 2020. So it was like,
Pandemic.
the world fell apart.
3 under 2
3
years
under
old.
2, yes, and it was chaos, and I was nervous, and I was constantly worried about how am I going to do this long term.
Yeah.
And it eventually came to, you're going to do it like this today, right? This is how you're going to solve this problem today, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be the solution moving forward. And that's personally, professionally, whatever. That really has relaxed, again, some of my panic.
Yeah.
Right? I tend to be a panicker. I am a worst case scenario thinker. I think I'm a realist, but others would disagree, I suppose, with that. But so my dad and sister are super optimistic.
Their glass is well over half full.
Yes, and I am the polar opposite of that. So that has sort of helped me manage to get through all of these various things in life, whether it's at the magazine or with the kids or whatever.
I love it. Lucia, who we spoke to a little bit earlier, she said, don't let perfect get in the way of good.
Yep.
I think it's very similar. This is the solution for today. Maybe it's not the best. Maybe it won't be the solution for tomorrow, but today it's what's going to work.
Might have been a little bit ugly, but we got through it.
We got through it. We made it. The kids are still kicking. Yes. I know your daughter is getting ready to have an 8th birthday party. So
yes, we've made it that far.
You're killing it. Slaying the game. Thank you so much for spilling some tea with me today. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We've got Jessica joining us today. Jessica, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I work for WV Medicine. I'm Wheeling born and raised. I'm a very, very proud West Virginian, mom of 3, married to the president of West Virginia Wesleyan College, so I get to be first lady there. Just a lot going on.
You have a lot going on. That's really exciting. You got that Wheeling feeling, which I always say. We have a friend from Wheeling, and anytime she gets a little sassy, that's what I say. I'm like, it's coming out. Her Wheeling's coming out, which I love. We love Wesleyan as well. We were actually just there filming with your husband about a month ago, so I got to see a little bit of campus and talk to him about his role there and how exciting it is to just be surrounded by such talented students on a regular basis.
It's a really beautiful place. Those students inspire me constantly. I love they give them opportunities to do public speaking. wheeling, so I get to hear from a lot of them, the experiences they're having, everything they're taking advantage of on campus. It's a beautiful place.
It is a beautiful place, and we love Upshur County as well, just as a whole. The main street is so much fun. It's such a beautiful place. So shout out to my Upshur County people, especially Commissioner Tenney. She's the best. So what fills your cup outside of work?
I am an adult female hockey player.
That's amazing.
So there is not a minor league team, but there's a league called the ECWHL, the East Coast Women's Hockey League. And there's a team in West Virginia, a women's team.
I had no idea.
Yes, it's the Wheeling Lightning Birds.
Okay.
Kind of a nod if you're familiar with Wheeling. They have the Wheeling Nailers. They used to be the Wheeling Thunderbirds. So we did Lightning Birds kind of as a nod to them.
Yeah.
But the entire team was started because girls hockey went away in our area, and we didn't realize that as adults. So once we started having kids, Rachel Adams is the one who said, we should get together a women's team, start to play, and bring girls hockey back to the area. So that was the goal. We're a 501c3, and we promote the growth of girls hockey.
That is amazing. And let me tell you, there's something about women that when you see that something is missing or something needs to be done, you don't look for others to do it. You just say, how are we getting this started? And that is one of my favorite things. I've seen that here at the conference. Hearing this story is absolutely amazing. I can't even imagine all the steps that would go to starting a hockey league. Of all the things that you're doing with a life, that's not one that I would think about. That's awesome.
Well, the Wheeling Amateur Hockey Association has been around for quite some time, and a lot of my teammates and I played together back in the day. But it's a never ever league, so you could have never played before in your life. Actually, the MVP of our league this year, one of our favorite teammates, she had not played, but her son played, and she was a good skater, and she's one of the best players in the league now. So
cool. Super cool. That's exciting. Yeah. And it does. We need those outlets that are just for us, that take your mind out of the boardroom or your office or your home and your kids to just focus on something else. And having that little bit of competition, I think, helps as well.
Oh, for sure. That when you're on the ice, there's nothing else I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about playing. I'm thinking about being there for my team, being a leader on the ice, being a leader on the bench. I'm in a room full of people that if we were not playing hockey, I don't know that we would have all ever been in the same room or sitting at the same table. And I think every woman needs a thing. Maybe not hockey. Maybe hockey's not everyone's thing.
Can I say so?
If you're looking to try,
we have the outlet.
Yeah, that's right. But if yoga is your thing, or working out classes, things like that, any type of church organizations, whatever your things that you can throw yourself into that takes your mind off of the hustle and the bustle and the decision making and all of that. Everybody should have one of those. I'm just very fortunate to be, after almost a 19-year hiatus, being able to play the sport that I loved to play when I was a kid.
That's so wonderful. I love what you said about leading from the bench as well. And I think that's such an important lesson for anyone at any age, is that you lead from where you are. You don't have to have the title to be a leader. And that's something I always take from this conference as well, is that we're really leading from wherever we are, in our home, in our community, in our business, and learning from that. People are always watching. Now, you haven't mentioned one thing. You guys just won.
We are Summit Cup champions.
You are Summit Cup champions.
Yes.
We have royalty here. This is so exciting. Well, I've learned so much today already, right? Had no idea that we had that here in West Virginia. That's so wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that with me and for having a little bit of tea.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm happy to talk about it anytime. I love talking about the team.
I love it. I love it. So we're joined by Heather today. Heather, tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name's Heather O'Neill. I own Busy Moms Healthcare in Morgantown, West Virginia, which is a small business. It's a comprehensive women's health clinic, and we are one of the last vestiges of private health care that you can find in North Central West Virginia, which has its challenges, but we have a good time cutting through the red tape every day.
I love the name, Busy Moms Healthcare.
Yeah, thank you.
That's needed.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're going to a little tea today. Our first question is, what is something that you have outgrown?
Funny enough, I've outgrown myself.
I love that.
Yeah. So year over year, the business has changed. I've had to change and grow to accommodate new employees, new requests from patients for services. I've had to level up the way I think about being a leader and also think about the bigger picture overall. You can really get stuck in your day-to-day grind of just trying to get through it, and that is the surest way to fail. So I've been really trying to take some time to outgrow my old self, which was just in survival mode for small business, and now think about big visions and what comes next, not just for Morgantown, but for women in West Virginia in general. And I've outgrown myself personally as well. I got divorced today at 1 o'clock.
Oh my goodness.
By phone. And it's all great. It's all good.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But like everybody at my table was just like, you go, girl. You have a great time. Go get divorced. And when you get back, we'll be right here with you. And it was so fun. So, you know, I've outgrown myself, and we all should regularly.
We just had that conversation. Stepping outside of your comfort zone, you should never stop doing that, because that is how you grow. That's how you learn, challenging yourself, deviating from the norm and your standard day of practice. Yeah, that's how we learn. And as a small business owner, I can fully attest to that, right? If you are just focusing on the day-to-day and not looking at a bigger picture, you're just going to get stuck in the mud.
Yep.
Yeah.
No one wants to be stuck in the mud.
This is my favorite question, and no one has answered it yet. What is your pump-up song?
Oh my gosh. All right. Everyone needs to download this. It's by Queen Herbie, and Queen is spelled Queen, Herbie, Herby. And the song is called Thank Me. And I love this song because women are typically conditioned to be so humble and like, oh no, like, I don't want to take credit for my success. You know, I just want to thank God and my family and my friends.
so humble.
No, this song is like, I just want to thank me
Yes.
for showing up, for putting in the work. And it's got such a good beat.
What a great pump-up
It should be on every female leader's playlist in the morning when you're getting ready.
So one of the questions I ask all of my guests, and y'all will know this, is if your life had a soundtrack, what would be playing right now? And one of my favorite answers is Lindsay McIntosh said, Hero, because I am my own hero.
Yeah.
When you need a hero, you look within, you don't look out.
That's right.
It was like, that's so mind-blowing.
That's right.
It's amazing. But I feel like at the end of this year, I want to do like the Spillin Sweet Tea soundtrack with all of these like pump-up songs, soundtracks, because it's been so powerful, all of these soundtracks that people have playing in their head on a daily basis, which is wonderful to hear.
Yeah, well, that one will get stuck in your head, and you might need to find a clean version, I will say that. Or not.
Or not. We're fine with the explicit.
Up top.
Have a little explicit. What does supporting other women look like for you?
Supporting other women is my whole jam. It is the most rewarding, fun thing I can do in my life. When I have a patient that comes to me, and especially perimenopause, menopause, they're not sleeping, they're having hot flashes, their marriage is on the rocks. And these are powerhouse women. These are women that show up every day. They're judges, they're lawyers, they're doctors, and they can't find help anywhere. Yep. And when I can help them get these basic needs back in their life for health and wellness, they turn around and do what women always do, which is help other people. Mm-hmm. And so when you help women, you end up helping exponentially more people. And I get to see that trickle down and then back to me. And it is the most rewarding thing I could do with my life, and it is such a pleasure to do it.
Women create ripple effects wherever they go, which I love so much. And you talk about perimenopause, that's something our friend group is talking about so much. And so when we find a resource or something we found helpful, you're right, we're sending out to like 10 to 15 other people in the same conversation, because we're like, I know you're suffering from this. Like, let me, what I've learned, let me help you.
Well, I can't ever stop talking about perimenopause and menopause and how much it can change your entire life if you can get it under control. So I'm very happy to talk about that ad nauseum.
I love that. We need to hear it. I feel like that's what's being pushed to me the most on my social media ads.
They got you.
Yeah, they got me. Now they're really going to get me. It's listening. I know it is.
Oh, yes.
So I'll keep getting those online tests and things like that to see if I'm in the zone.
Well, if you think you are, you don't need an online test. You know yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for responding with me, Heather.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you all.
Here with Rachel today. Now, Rachel, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What do you do?
I'm from Logan, West Virginia, but I've been in Charleston for the last decade, and I'm a sales consultant at Moses Lincoln.
I'm glad she said that, because you're probably wondering why we're standing in front of a car right now. So what is this beautiful vehicle?
So this is a Lincoln Nautilus. This is one of the mid-size SUVs that Lincoln offers. It's their bigger size of the two-row cars.
Wonderful. It is gorgeous. So if you're in the market, I would definitely suggest coming to take a look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, you talked about this being associated with cars. My question for you is, what is your pump-up song?
Ever since I've been selling cars, my pump up song has been Vroom Vroom by Charlie XCX.
Oh my God, I love that so much. And let me tell you, as a salesperson, anyone in any type of sales role, which honestly, we are all in sales. Right. I say that all the time. You need that pump up song. Especially
Absolutely.
I got it commission to make. I got to bring home the bank. I love
Right.
this.
You've got to turn yourself on.
What a perfect one. But
Yeah.
So we wish we could play it, but unfortunately YouTube says no. So I'll let you download it for yourself. So what does success look like to you in this phase of your life?
So to me, success looks like adaptability and going to work happy every day. I've had a lot of career pivots. One of my favorite things about this conference is hearing about all the pivots that different women have experienced, because it's always worked well for me. So going to work happy and having an adaptable workplace.
You know, a lot of people have talked about that in our conversations kind of off and on, is getting outside of your comfort zone, being able to be vulnerable and adapt to those things. And that's really where you find your growth.
Absolutely.
And as we get older, myself, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone is something you have to be really conscious of consistently doing.
Yeah.
That's when you really find your magic.
Absolutely. It gets scarier, but the reward is a lot greater.
Absolutely. All right, my last question for you. When people think of you, what one word do you hope comes to mind?
One word I hope always comes to mind is considerate. Even on my bad days, I really hope everybody thinks I'm a considerate person and I've made them feel that way.
What a beautiful word. Well, I think you're very considerate.
Thank you.
I just didn't think of that. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for having a little bit of tea with me today and for showing me this amazing vehicle.
Yes.
We won't give you the full tour. I'll let you head down to Moses to check that one out.
Thank you, Morgan. Thank you.
All right, we have Barb with us today. Barb, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Barbara Wessels. I work at Wellpoint, West Virginia, and I am from Charleston, although originally I grew up in Logan County, or LA.
LA.
As we like to say.
The greater LA. Yes, I love that. So we're going to do some sweet sips with Barb. What is one lesson you feel like life keeps teaching you?
I'm gonna go off script. I'm here for you.
Oh, yes. We love it.
So-
Excess.
The first one is nothing simple is ever easy.
Oh.
So when you think you can get from A to B, seems like a pretty direct route.
Yeah.
Not for me.
No.
There's always sidebars and side tracks and country roads you need to take.
Yeah.
But and there's also obstacles you have to overcome. No matter how simple the project it seems like, it's never easy.
Something will always pop up. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. It's the journey, and that's like what really changes you. Yeah. Because you're right, A to B, but it's really over the mountain and through the woods, and then we make it to grandma's.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What's lesson number 2 that you're learning?
So lesson number 2 is something that I learned from an elderly lady.
Yes.
In San Francisco.
Ooh.
I know. We were on one of those trolley things.
Yeah.
And my husband offered her his seat.
Okay.
And she's like, if you live long enough, people are nice to you. And that is very true.
Simply existing. You live long enough, people are nice to you. Just wait. So if you're feeling you're not getting the love, just wait. Your time is coming. They're going to make you work for it.
Treasure our elders.
We should treasure our elder. Don't get me started. Jennifer from Faith in Action is one of my favorite human beings. We talk about this all the time. They've given us so much. They've given us a beautiful life, and then we just forget about them, and we leave them. And they have such amazing stories to tell and so much wisdom to impart.
So much wisdom.
And just they are deserving of all of the love.
All the love.
Yeah.
We learned that over and over yesterday in this conference.
Yeah.
Is that take the time to learn about the people in your life
Yes.
and learn from them and love them, because
Yeah.
limited.
It's limited. There's never enough time. That's like one of the things I say constantly, and it really applies to everything, but it definitely applies to showing people how much they mean to you.
Right.
And
It fills you.
it fills you. Yeah, that fills your cup. So what else fills your cup outside of work?
Outside of work. So a couple things. Again, I can't just do one answer. You'll learn that about me.
I'm here for it. I'm very similar.
So I love a good home improvement project.
Oh,
I love power
yes.
tools.
Yes.
Like using circular saws and drills and whatever.
I did not know
I'm
this
down
about
for
you.
it.
This
I know,
is exciting.
no one knows.
HGTV right here.
HGTV. in
Yes.
person.
Yeah.
So anytime that I have the opportunity to improve, like where I'm living, make it pretty, just polish it a little bit, it turns into we're knocking down a wall or rerouting plumbing, or it's just crazy. So again, nothing simple is ever
Nothing
easy.
simple is ever easy.
The other thing that I have just recently discovered about myself in the last few years as I love ice hockey, and men's ice hockey especially, but it is the fastest, most powerful game.
Really?
It's like graceful.
Yeah.
I mean, they're skating on knives, basically.
Right. Yes.
and
Yeah. Terrifying.
They're still able to do what they're supposed to do. I couldn't do that.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
can appreciate it.
I don't know how like goalies just maneuver and all of the equipment that they're wearing on top of the knives that they're
You
running
see that,
around
you
on.
don't think, oh, there's like 5 or 6 feet in front of the goal. How could that?
Yeah.
They're sweating. Like
They're
crazy
sweating. Yes.
because of all the equipment.
I'm telling you, hockey is like fully.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Hockey is fully having a moment right now. I
Yes.
feel like heated rivalry has like really put a spotlight on the sport.
You know, the Olympics really did shine a light on
Yeah.
it. Watching it on TV is tame compared to watching it in person.
I want to see
For the
teeth flying.
full experience. Go watch it. It's so much faster.
Yeah.
It's just so much more richer experience.
Oh, okay. Well, that's on my. I've never been to a hockey game, so now I've got to put it on my bucket list.
Yeah.
So you get very busy. You're involved in a lot of things. What tends to keep you grounded when you feel like you've got so much going on?
You have to find your person. And for me, that's my husband. He keeps me grounded. He is my rock. He is also crazy, which helps. because
That's
I am
helpful.
crazy.
Yes.
He speaks to my kind of crazy.
Yes.
And you have to find one. And, you know, he's not a yes man. He's, you know, calls me Sarge because I'm so, like, on top of it. And that's just our thing, though. So you have to find somebody or some person in your life who, like, will talk back to you, who will challenge you, but will also, like, pull you back to who you really are.
I love that so much. And so one of the ladies we spoke to yesterday talked about her kitchen table, and that's her group of friends that can just sit around a kitchen table. They can be honest with you.
Yes.
They can tell you no, but they can also be your hype women or men and have that relationship. My husband also is very similar, keeps me grounded, tells me what I need to hear, not what I always want to hear, which is lovely. And you said something that I say constantly, and I've told our kids for over a decade. Everyone is crazy. Everyone is crazy. Everyone is weird. People are weird. Some people hide it better than others.
Exactly.
But find someone whose crazy matches yours or whose yours you can tolerate. Like,
I mean, he makes me laugh every day.
I love that.
And I hope I make him laugh every day.
I'm sure you
know?
do.
And so that's what you need. You need to find your own crazy.
Yeah. Find your crazy.
Find your
It's
crazy.
perfect. Well, thank you for sharing some sweet sips with me today. I appreciate you.
Spilling the tea.
Yes.
The sweet tea.
So we have Jennifer with us today. Jennifer, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I am Jennifer Farr. I live in Charleston, West Virginia. I'm a Charleston City Council member at large, and I'm also the Vice President of Family Care Health Centers with Community Engagement and the Executive Director of their foundation.
You sound like you have a full plate.
I do.
To say the least.
Yes.
You do, absolutely. So we're going to spill a little bit of tea with Jennifer today with one of my favorite questions.
Yes.
What advice would you give your younger self?
One thing that I say to myself so often, if I could do one thing over again, I would just take the chance.
Yes.
Take the chance.
Yeah.
There's one of 3 things that's going to happen. You're going to have a no.
Yep.
You're going to have a maybe not now, or you're going to have a yes.
Yes.
And many times that maybe not now or that no will eventually turn into the yes, but you'll never know if you don't do
You'll
it.
never know. I say this all the time. That is my biggest regret from my youth is not taking a risk.
Yes.
I was so risk adverse, and I thought I had this like plan that I had to follow and check every box on the way. I was so afraid of the possibility of failure.
That's right.
That I didn't put myself in positions where I could.
Yes, and people see things in you that you don't see in yourself.
Yes.
And so folks encourage you to do things. So short story with City Council, I didn't want to run. And a gentleman by the name of Andy Richardson said, you should do this.
Yeah.
It took me 14 times to meet with him before I said yes.
Oh my gosh. Andy is so wonderful.
He is.
We are friends of Andy on the show. Yes. We love him. I think he has a real gift for seeing talent in people before they see it in themselves. He really can identify where you need to be, even
Correct.
if you don't see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think that's another good quality of true leadership. When you're in a position, you hold that position, but when you see other people, it's almost, I don't want to say hidden responsibility, but it's one of those things that's not talked about a lot. You need to encourage the next group of leaders.
Yes, absolutely. We always need to make sure that there's a succession plan.
Correct.
Especially for female leadership, to ensure that we have those same types of voices and experiences at the table.
Absolutely.
Where they may not have been before.
Absolutely.
Yes. So speaking of female support and hype women, what does supporting other women look like to you right now?
It's always listening. It's always encouragement. It's having those conversations where women feel comfortable to say what their vulnerabilities are and to state them and to acknowledge those and to also say, I too felt like that at one point in time.
Yeah.
We have to continue to just have that open line of communication. So we're not, if we don't do that, we won't nurture.
Yes. We talked to somebody yesterday that said you have to have a kitchen table. So you have to have people that are at the table in the right places that are not just telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. They're also unapologetically your hype women. They are having the tough conversations with you, like you said, sharing their own challenges and allowing you to learn from them so you don't have to repeat the mistake.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The
And I think
listening and support.
it's important to also bring women with you.
Yes.
Yeah, so I have members from my team here. So we have our outreach coordinator, Jennifer Pritt, and Michelle Bowles, who's our grants coordinator. They've not been to the Greenbrier before. So to come to this event with so many powerful women, the uplifting, the inspiration, the tears, it really helps to pull out some of those, the thoughts that people are having and to say, you know what, if I can be around these women, and they can do the things, I can do it too.
You feel less alone.
Absolutely.
There are so many times I think we as women specifically, we mask so much our struggles and we feel like we're on this island of self-doubt and just second thoughts and knowing that you're not alone on that island. You have hundreds of other people with you. The lifeboat is right there. We can paddle away whenever you want.
That's exactly
and I think conferences like this, even if you don't know every face in the room, you have a shared experience, you have a shared story, and you have a shared goal, which is so empowering.
Absolutely. And women come up to each other and just say, hey, you know what, you've got a beautiful top on today. I just wanted to say, give you a compliment. And then it's like, oh, so what do you do?
Yeah.
And it's just that warm, inviting atmosphere that really you don't have a stranger. You have new friends.
New friends, exactly. Oh my God, it's so funny that you say that. I wanted to have this conversation with somebody. So I was complimented by a woman randomly at a store the other day, and I thought, this is so lovely. That just made my whole day. I thought, isn't it nice to be a woman and feel the comfort and the confidence to be able to say that to someone else? Because you don't see men really doing that. Like, oh, I like your tie, you know, or like, your hair looks great today. I mean, I'm sure it happens probably, but especially in just strangers.
Right.
And there's just something so beautiful about that. Just, oh, hi, you look beautiful today. And it does, and it just changes your whole
perspective.
Yeah.
Makes your day.
It makes your day. It absolutely makes your day.
Yep.
All right, my last question for you is, what fills your cup outside of work? And your cup is like very full already. So I feel like this is like the Cool Whip on top or something.
You know, many people talk about their family. My cup, whenever I have that moment where I'm thinking, I just can't do this.
Yeah.
My family has, I think it's the third or fourth longest running family reunion in U.S. history.
That is so cool.
And it's the Smoot family reunion from Madison, West Virginia in Boone County.
Oh my gosh.
And I think this year is our 97th year.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so for our records, what we can find, it's the fourth longest running family reunion.
In the U.S.
Yes. So I think about the sacrifices that were made.
Yeah.
And many things that my ancestors had to go through that sometimes I just need to, as my dad would say to me, sometimes you just have to suck it up.
Yeah.
So if they could suck up things that I can't even imagine,
right.
I can keep pushing through.
That's wonderful. And you have that running through you. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday who had just recently lost a grandfather. And they said, the moment he passed, I felt this warmth inside. And one of my other friends said, that was his spirit. You now carry him with you. And I thought,
absolutely.
How amazing is that we are, we're made up of our experiences. We're made up of our history. We're made up of generations of people that were working to get us where we are right now. And it's so easy to lose sight of those things as we're just pushing forward to the future. It's helpful a lot of times to look in the rearview mirror a little bit too. And see how far you've come. Make sure you're not repeating the same mistakes. And appreciate the journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this. This is such a wonderful idea.
Thank you. Yes. I absolutely love it. This is literally one of my favorite things that I do. sharing stories, telling stories, hearing stories. That is my ancestral past. I feel like our whole family was raised around a campfire telling tall tales or not so tall tales. And to be able to carry that in a new way in a podcast forum and share other people's life experiences, it helps us to feel that we're not alone.
Absolutely.
And that we're not the only people that are going through this. And despite what we see on social media or mainstream media, there is more good in this world than bad.
Absolutely.
And there is more love than hate.
Yes.
And we will drive that out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the way that we do that is through effective communication.
Yes.
And you are providing an avenue for that. So, my friend, I truly appreciate you doing this.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much.
Yes. Wonderful.